Unitarian Universalism is a living tradition, which means that our values and our beliefs are growing and changing as we grow and change. That while we respect the heritages we come from, we are open to new ideas and new learnings. And we reserve the right to change our minds religiously. Part of this living tradition is that every so often, our Unitarian Universalist Association takes a close look at what we say is the core of our faith and sees and determines if that still fits or if it's time to adjust or edit those words. So a process of doing that work culminated last summer with the adoption of a new statement of values that we'll be exploring today, replacing in the UUA bylaws, but not necessarily in our hearts, the 7 principles, which many of which are up on the wall right there. And if those principles work for you, no one is taking them away. You get to hold on to that. And this is a time for us to explore if this new statement of values, if these new things that we say are at the core of our faith, if tens of thousands of Unitarian Universalists decided this is who we think we are right now, if that might fit for us as individuals. So we're going to be doing that today with crafts and other activities, some new songs and some new learnings, and a new stuffed animal friend. So come, let us gather together. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. I am Sharon Sauter, a member of the Sunday Service Committee. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and old. You are an essential part of our service today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are here with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here.
And as we begin, many announcements. This is a service for all ages, so we will all be together for the duration of our time together today, which means if you came with children, please keep an eye on them. We do have our nursery open for the youngest kids, but otherwise people are expected to be in this space. Many of you have already seen that we have markers on our tables and Play-Doh, and I encourage you to keep your hands busy if that helps you listen better. At 12:30 today, there's an orientation for this year's youth program. It's a world religions program. And so all 7th through 12th graders and their grown-ups should gather in room 19, which is the room at the top of the stairs. Then lunch will be served here in the commons, kind of on this stripy table. And there's care for younger siblings. And if you are not among the folks staying for this orientation, I invite you not to eat the food for the people staying for the orientation. We bought for the amount of people we're expecting for that. So just look longingly and wish you were part of the 7th through 12th grade program, but it's not for you, sorry. A few more announcements about our religious education program. We are still looking for a few more teachers for our younger kids. So if you would find joy in helping our smaller ones learn about world religions this year, please talk to Diane right there, our religious education director. And the teacher training for those of you who are teaching religious education this year is next Saturday afternoon. So watch for an email from Diane in the next few days with all the logistics and details about that. Next Saturday at 9:30 in the morning, we're having a rain garden work day. So all are invited to bring garden tools to play in the garden with like-minded people. That's 9:30 a.m. next Saturday. A week from Tuesday, I'm starting a sermon seminar class. So this is a class for a small group of folks. It'll happen on Tuesday evenings about every other week. And it's about writing, but it's also about learning how to reflect theologically about our own experiences and find lessons that might resonate with other folks and how to craft a whole service around that. So we still have a couple of spots. If that's interesting to you, please let me know. We'd love to have you with us. And 2 weeks from now is our weekend of UU Climate Justice Revival programming. So 2 weeks from yesterday, on Saturday afternoon, there'll be an afternoon of programming and learning together. And when I think about climate change, I almost immediately go to an overwhelming despair. Maybe that's true for some of the others of you too. And in preparing for this program, it feels really different than that. There's some joy, there's some hope. It feels way less overwhelming. So if you're looking to connect with other people in this community and with our cousins from the UU Church in Portage, and maybe feel a little less despair about climate change, this would be a good place to show up. So it's on the 28th, that's 2 weeks from yesterday, a potluck at noon, programming from 1 to 5 p.m. And so you can sign up online through our communications or just tell me you're planning to be there. And Diane, Melvin will be leading a program for the kids wandering around out in nature and such. And it should be a glorious afternoon for people of all ages. And finally, wouldn't be Fall at People's Church without some updates about the bazaar. So the Holiday Bazaar and Fine Arts Sale is on November 23rd this year. This weekend, an energetic team of volunteers had a great time together assisting Chef Bob Friedel in making more than 140 pasties. It's incredible. Good work, team. And there's still a few spots, at least the last time I wandered by the sign-up table, available for this coming weekend. So if you have time on Friday afternoon, that's when things are chopped. Saturday morning is when things are assembled and put in the oven, and on Saturday afternoon, the pasties are wrapped and cooled. So you can sign up online or in the table at the lobby, and there's a few other opportunities starting on the sign-up table, like assembling bean soup kits and making crafts. So there'll be more pasty making and other projects coming in October. I think we get to sing now. That was a lot. Okay.
Yes, please rise and body your spirit to sing our opening song together. It's hard to believe in the sun in the dark of the night. And it's hard to believe in the stars in the bright morning light. Well, we all need a place we can go to learn what is real, to ponder the depths of the soul where truth is revealed. This is our place, this is our home. And walls, love's earthly home, heeding the call. It's bread for the journey, oil for the flame, for people of love, people of hope, people of change. It's hard to believe there is peace when war rages on. And it's hard to believe there is love in hate's raging throng. needs a new hand. Oh, let it be you. Let it be me. Hearing God's dwelling, we learn to believe in this mortar and stone, these windows and walls, love's earthly home, heeding the call. It's bread for the journey, oil for the flame, for people of love, people of hope, people of change. When a place is what welcomes you in, you build it, you change it, so the promise of love can begin here in this room, here in these halls. Let's open wide, welcoming all in this mortar and stone, these windows and walls, love's earthly home, heeding the call. It's bread for the journey, oil for the flame, for people of love, people of hope, people of change. We're people of love, people of hope, people of change. We're living out love, living out hope, living out change. Sing out for love, sing out for hope, sing out for change. So now I believe in the sun in the dark of the night.
Would Charlie please come forward to light the chalice? If you're lighting a chalice at home, you're encouraged to type in the chat box, a chalice is lit in your neighborhood, your city, or street. Our words for today, Deepening the Spirit by Cynthia Landrum. We light this chalice, the beacon that calls us to love, to justice, to a deepening of the Spirit.
In addition to our chalice flame here at People's Church, we have chalices lit this morning in the Millwood neighborhood, in Kalamazoo, in Parkview Hills, at Evergreen North in Oshtemo, on Munson Lake near Grand Junction, and in Kalamazoo Township. What a gift that we can be together in time, even when we cannot all be together in place. Oh, and one on Oakland Winchell. I forgot an announcement in my long list of announcements earlier, which was that next Sunday is our animal blessing service. So if you have a well-behaved creature at home, you are welcome to bring it into church with you, or perhaps a stuffed animal, or maybe a photograph of your creature, your animal companion. And if you are someone who does not want to be in a room full of animals, not more than human animals, whether that's for allergies or just preference, it will be a great Sunday to attend via Zoom. I would now like to invite our children forward to meet a new friend. I'm so glad you guys are with us today. Thanks for being here. So, can you see what this creature is? A pig. And what is this pig wearing? A jetpack, obviously. Doesn't every pig stuffed animal you know wear a jetpack? So, no, I know. This is a special one. And our church member, Laura Boltman, made this one specifically for us. Aren't we so lucky? I know, right? And we have this new friend with us at church now to help us remember a new way of thinking about what Unitarian Universalists value. So this new friend, whose name I don't know because I don't speak stuffy language, so we're going to have a naming contest for this pig. There's a little box outside, and there'll be things in the newsletter. So if you think you know what the right name is for this being of yarn and fuzz, please submit your ideas, and we'll have a vote later. But we have this friend to help us remember a new way of thinking about what we think is important as Unitarian Universalists, because the new things are justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. And that, if you put the letters in that, the first letter of each one of those can spell out JETPIG. And then you also have love at the center. So this is our new friend, and he's going to help us think some things through. Do you guys want to hold him for a little bit? He's very huggable. You can pass him around. So let's talk about what these things actually mean. So what does justice mean? Any ideas? No? Grown-ups? People out there? What does justice mean? Any ideas? I hear fairness, inclusiveness. Okay. Accountability. That's a good word. Okay. Next we have equity. Do you know what that means? Equity, I know. Some of these are some big words, huh? That's part of why we're starting. What? Equal. It's about being equal. It's about everybody having what they need. And then some of what they want. What about transformation? It's about growing and changing and evolving. So we hope that here, when we're here at church, we grow and change and become into better versions of who we are. Then pluralism, that's another big word. It feels unfair to ask small people about big words, doesn't it? So big people, what does pluralism mean? Multiple opinions. Yeah, for us here at People's Church, it means that there is more than one way to access and to know truth. There are different paths that we are all on, and we can support one another as we journey our different spiritual paths. And then generosity. Do you guys know what that one means?
Being nice.
Being nice.
Giving that.
Giving people stuff, sharing. Yeah, it's sharing what you have.
That.
Like donating, yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, so it's being generous, it's sharing, it's giving money, but also like giving thank yous and giving kindness, giving what we have to make the world a little bit better. And then, what's love?
Love.
Love.
Like that one. You give hearts.
Giving peace.
Give peace.
Peace and hugs. Yeah, kindness, all of those good things. And so today, and I think some other times, we're going to be thinking about what do all of these big words mean? And are they what's true in our heart about what what it means to be part of People's Church? And is this how we best describe who we are and what we think is true? But also, it's pretty amazing that it can mnemonic to JETPIG. So I invite you all now to be like tiny JETPIGs and fly back to your seats. I don't know, do you think a JETPIG makes noise when it flies?
I think the jetpack makes noise. You might oink once or twice.
Oh, there might be some jetpack noise and some oinking. Do you guys want to try that?
No.
Maybe the grown-ups can try it too. How would a JETPIG move? And if you don't want to try it, you can just go back to sit with your big people if you want. Okay, you gonna try it?
How about that?
That was really good. Do you remember where you were sitting?
Yes.
It's time to go back there. So just to be clear, the naming contest for our new stuffed animal friend is open to everyone. So if anybody watching on Zoom, watching later on YouTube of all ages has a name idea, or just wants to submit a name idea that will make the staff chuckle as we call through them, that is also strongly encouraged, even if it's not an entirely serious idea. People's people are generous people. And one of the beautiful things about being an institution that has existed for a very long time is the way pieces of our past echo and support who we are now. So we have a special fund in our church called the Community Service and Outreach Fund, which was set up a while ago by donors. And the stipulation is that the money that is spent from that fund cannot serve the church. It has to go out into the world and serve the greater good in our community. And so a few months ago, when one of our church people, Pam Wadsworth, said, I want to start teaching classes based on Our Whole Lives, the comprehensive sexuality education program that we offer at Ministry with Community, the day shelter for homeless folks in our community. I want to do that, but I'm going to need a little bit of money because if I have really good snacks, people are more likely to show up, which is true, I think, for all of us. I said, oh, we have a fund that is designed for that. So now every week I get a little report from Pam about what they learned, about how many oranges can fit in a condom. It's 6, which is incredible. And that they had coffee and snacks and all of that. And we are making that happen. Our donors from I don't even know how long ago who said we need an endowed fund that will support good work in our community. I'm sure they did not have these specific ideas in mind, but they trusted the future enough to say, whoever is People's Church then will know what that work is. And Pam is out there doing that. And isn't that wonderful? So this is the moment where I invite you to continue to be the generous people that you are. The offering will now be received.
If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love. When I see the way you act, wondering if I'm coming back, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. Love like you. Love like you. I always thought I might be bad. Now I'm sure that it's true, 'cause I think you're so good and I'm nothing like you. Look at you go, I just adore you. I wish that I knew what makes you think I'm so special. If I could begin to do something that does right by you, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love. When I see the way you look, shaken by how long it took, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. Love me like you.
Please join me in giving thanks that all sustains us. From the countless gifts we each have been given, gifts of life and love and sustenance, we bring these small portions to share in the works of love, which none of us can accomplish alone.
People's people support one another in good times and in hard times. One of the ways we do this is when we gather for worship, we invite those who wish to share the joys, sorrows, and other milestones of our lives. So if you are with us on Zoom this morning, I invite you to type your sharing into the chat box. If you're here in person, I invite you to come forward, place a stone in our bowl of water, and if you wish to speak briefly and share your name. I now place a few more stones in our bowl of water for all of the joys and sorrows we hold quietly in our hearts today, the joy and sorrow in our wider community and our wider world. Sources of reason and radiance, sources of courage and compassion, keep watch with those who work or watch or weep this day. May the suffering be soothed. May the weary find rest. May the sick be tended. May the dying and those who love them find peace, and may the joyous be shielded. And may all of us know we are wrapped in a love that surrounds us always, a web that connects us to all that exists. I now invite us into a few moments of silence.
Are we attempting to sing along? I mean, we got lyrics, right? Okay. So I invite you to rise, embody your spirit. We've got a new song up there on the screen. Yeah. If you get lost, just head back to the chorus. That's kind of the rule. All right, here we go. What makes you a true you? Love at the core of what you do. We commit to work as a team to make our values more than a dream. JETPIG helps us keep in mind 6 values that UUs have defined. Here's our first verse. Justice means we make things fair. We vote, speak up, and act with care. Equity's when everyone gets what they need for work and fun. Transformation means we change, and we can still grow at every every age. You're doing great. Let's go back to the chorus. What makes you a true you? Love at the core of what you do. We commit to work as a team to make our values more than a dream. JETPIG helps us keep in mind 6 values that you have defined. Verse 2, pluralism is how we say we know there's not just one right way. Interdependence means we're connected, so our earth and its people are respected. Generosity is the last we can learn to share before we're asked. What makes you a true you? Love at the core of what you do. We commit to work as a team to make our values more than a dream. JETPIG helps us keep in mind 6 values that you have defined. One last time on that line. JETPIG helps us keep in mind 6 values that you have defined.
We're going to have to talk a lot about JETPIGs this year, aren't we? It's ridiculous, but also delightful. So what we're going to do now is in a moment, stations will emerge in the commons, in the foyer, and in the upper lobby, that each have a chance to explore and engage with one of the values through a craft project, through a snack, in all kinds of different ways. So here, for the in-person attendees, there are 8 stations. And this is really a choose-your-own-adventure situation. You could diligently go to each one. You could pick one and hang out there for a while. We are not regathering in any sort of formal way. So do it until you don't want to anymore, and then grab some coffee or something. And for our people on Zoom, you have 2 options for breakout rooms. One will be a discussion group, and one will be doing a show and tell. So sort of figure out what your spirit needs in this moment. So you're dismissed, I guess, is what I say at this moment. Enjoy. This will be fun. Keep track of your people.